saunas, cold plunges, red light therapy, lasers, even dry needling, supplements, things of this nature. These are all things that I categorize as reaching for the 1% when you haven't nailed the 99. And what I mean by that is, quite often in here at Revo, we have people who are very, very invested in their health, which we love. But because they're so invested, they're also taking in a lot of different information from a lot of different sources, be it YouTube or Instagram, or reading scholarly articles or things of that nature, or gym down the street or whatever. The sources come from all over, and quite often there hasn't been the conversation of, well, what else are you doing to help your body perform the way you expect it to perform? And is it not performing the way in which you expect? And if it isn't, then most likely a deeper conversation needs to be had beyond how much time do I need to spend in the cold plunge or the sauna, or what supplements do I need, or all the other things that get wrapped into this conversation of recovery and performance and all of those. So part of the 99% that I'm referring to are just really the 5 pillars of overall health that are non-negotiables for every human being. Those are sleep, nutrition, hydration, stress management, and movement. Now, what I have people in here do is we rate those 5 pillars on a scale of 1 to 5. And I ask folks to be honest with themselves where they really are in this moment in time, so we can get a reasonably accurate snapshot of their health at this moment and where they really need to be focusing for their optimal performance and recovery and injury rehabilitation. So we start with sleep, always, because sleep underpins every single aspect of our health. There is no portion of our health that sleep does not touch. So we start there always, and we rate it on a scale of 1 to 5. And we do the same down the line: nutrition, hydration, stress management, and movement. Most folks in here are pretty darn good about the movement piece, and they've got that box largely checked, unless there's a big injury on board that they're working through and we're trying to figure out how they can move in a healthy way given their injury. The things that almost always are out of balance are sleep and nutrition or hydration. Quite often stress management does play a role also. This isn't to give the notion that there should have to be a perfect balance, i.e. all 5 pillars being at 5 out of 5 at all times. That is a unicorn situation which does not exist for a human that lives in the world. It's just not a thing. But we do want those items, those 5 pillars, to be in relative balance with each other more often than not. If one of them is at, say, a 1 or a 2, every one of us experiences those little blips now and again, and that's just part of life, so that's okay. But we don't want that one item to stay at a 1 or 2 perpetually, because that invariably will pull other things down with it. If you're chronically underhydrated, that will pull your either nutrition or your movement or even your stress down with it. It can also affect your sleep, believe it or not. So these 5 pillars are really interdependent upon each other to do reasonably well given any moment in time. So I would encourage you to do this. Take those 5 pillars. Again, they are sleep, stress, nutrition, hydration, and movement. Give them a rating of 1 out of 5. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. And be honest with yourself. And then take what you believe to be the lowest hanging fruit. And I mean the simplest thing you could possibly go after. The easiest thing to accomplish. Go after that thing first, before you start reaching for the supplements or the foam roller or the massage gun or the sauna or the cold plunger. You know all the lists. You know all of the things. Reach for that lowest hanging fruit first before you do any of those other things. Take that lowest hanging fruit from a 1 or 2 or whatever it is to something higher. And then guess what? You take the next lowest hanging fruit and take it to something higher. And again, none of these is ever in perfect balance all the time. It's not a thing, it doesn't exist. But we at least need to work towards developing the habits of maintaining a certain level of each of those 5 items before we even start thinking about, well, how much could this sauna or this cold plunge or this massage gun or this foam roller or this supplement, how much could those things help me? And it's not that those things aren't helpful, they are. But they're way, way, way less effective if we haven't nailed the 99% first. So work on the 99%, develop some better habits first, then let's have a conversation about the supplements, the foam roller, the dry needling, all of the other things that I've already mentioned. Then they're much more likely to have the desired effect that you're thinking that they might have on your body. All right, let's get to work.